Welcome to Mark D. Maker. My name's Mark Taylor, and today we'll be making a charging station with pocket hole joints. Pocket hole joints are really the main topic of this video. Now, pocket hole joints really changed the way woodworking for the average weekend woodworker. It really changed the game. Previously, to pocket hole joints, you needed to learn the skill of joinery, of being able to make dovetail joints, dados, rabbets. These were all woodworking terms for joinery, mortise and tenon. Some of these things are quite difficult to learn, to master. The pocket hole jigs and pocket holes have made it easy for the average person to buy one of these things in a weekend, go out, build something really quickly. So I'm going to give you some names of some really good YouTube channels that I've learned a lot from. The first one being Woodworking for Mere Mortals. He has a really good one on pocket hole jigs. The next YouTube channel I'm going to give you is The Wood Whisperer. I'm using his plans. I'm using Mark's plans here to build my charging station. He used dados, but I'm using pocket hole jigs or pocket holes for joinery instead of dados and rabbets like he uses. The next name I'm going to give you is, if you're into really fine woodworking and using hand tools, Paul Sellers. This guy is incredible. You will love the woodworking he does. He's built furniture for presidents, and he breaks everything down to understandable lessons. Just a phenomenal teacher. So what you see I'm doing right here is I'm actually using the board for measurements instead of taking measurements off of something else. I don't like taking measurements using numbers. I am dyslexic, and I will invert numbers, turn them upside down, spin them around, spit them out. If I can use an object to get my measurements, I'm much more accurate using objects or even a measurement stick. I don't like relying on the numbers because I tend to invert them. Here you can see I'm correcting where I got a measurement wrong. So I always go over my measurements not only once, not only twice, but usually 3 times. And usually by the 3rd time I can get the right one and correct my mistakes. So here I'm cutting this off with the bandsaw, and you can see I will occasionally stop, back up, and start cutting again. And what happens is, if I come off of the line, like if I'm cutting a straight line, here I'm finding the angle, and moving forward, I'm taking my time. This video is sped up, by the way. But right there you can see that I stopped, backed up, and came forward again. And what happened was, if you veer off the line just a little bit, if you catch it fairly soon, it'll save you a lot of sanding. It's just a little groove. Now here's the pocket hole jig by Craig. Here's the jig. This is a very specific drill bit that comes with it, and the driver. It's a square driver. Here we put the board into the jig and you adjust it. I'm adjusting it's threaded and it moves forward. Then it has a little locking nut on it. And it locks it right in, holds the board still. You can chuck up your drill and start drilling. Now the nice thing about this is there's no measurements. You simply put the hole where you think it's going to need the support. So for a board this wide, I'll put 3, sometimes 4, depending on how much weight it's going to hold. And you can see how quick this moves. There isn't any other joinery that I know that you can move along this quickly. Now the average Craig jig like this one, it runs about $100, and then the clamps, you will need the clamps to go with it. They do not come in the package, so, and they're specialized clamps. They're in the $20 range. You'll need 2 of them. I'll show you which 2 here in just a moment. You can see in the background the one clamp that has the 2 paddles. So here's a little closer look. You can see the drill bit has a stopper on it to keep it from going too far down. The directions are very easy to follow, and they give you a little jig on how to place that stop and the height and where to adjust it. This jig will do multiple boards, multiple thicknesses of boards, and it's easy to set up. Here I'm laying out where the drills will actually fit into and hold. These pieces are support pieces. And here you can see I took the jigsaw and cut out those pieces. That's the bottom shelf, and that's where the drills will hang in there. This is the top shelf. And this is one of the clamps I was telling you about. It's a specialized clamp. 1/2 of that clamp fits into the pocket hole, and the other side holds it against the board. You clamp it and it holds it still right in there. You get 1 screw in, and the screw will hold it, and then you can put the other 2 screws in. The other clamp has just 2 flat surfaces which will hold, if you're joining 2 pieces of wood together, it'll hold them flat so you can screw them together like a tabletop or something like that. Now I'm using a drill to put these screws in with. I'm not using an impact. Do not use an impact. It will destroy the pocket holes. It's just too powerful, too strong. And I've set the clutch on my drill at about 4 or 5. Your drill may vary, but you don't want it to be, you don't want to use super torque on this. You want it to snug it down. When it pulls the wood together, that should be sufficient. It's a very strong joint. Well, hindsight is 2020. I obviously should have put the bottom shelf on last. Have a little bit of a struggle here, but hey, live and learn, right? Whew, I'm all done. Here we go. These pocket hole jigs sure are nice. They're perfect for someone who wants to go in and build something on the weekends without taking courses on dovetail joinery or fancy equipment to cut dovetails or dados or even half laps. To do those joints really well takes practice, takes a lot of work. And if you just want to throw something together real quick, these pocket holes are the way to do it. Now, I appreciate fine woodworking. I love it. I used to work in a cabinet shop, but this is so fast and it's very sturdy, very strong, no glue, just screws. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, subscribe. I'll be doing artwork next time. Whew. I'll see you next time.